teacher, as I mentioned, in bilingual schools and has participated now also in the program of the diploma we did in 2021. We are so honored to have you with us here, Cecilia, today. Maybe have an amazing time. Cecilia will start her presentation. Have an amazing time.
Welcome to everybody who hasn't been with me yet. Okay, well, today's objective, everyone, is to be able to identify some metacognition strategies in order to plan lessons that can boost the independence in our students. We really want, right, students who can actually be more self-regulated these days. We want people with more self-regulation, and that's such an important 21st century skill. And so I'm going to make a link between actually developing certain metacognition skills and strategies in our little ones so that they can be more self-regulated and they can be more independent in the end, okay? So that you know, basically, there's lots of definitions about metacognition, but as used by Flavel, for example, it refers to an individual's awareness of his or her cognitive process or strategies. So a simpler definition, it'll be very similar to the things that you've been saying, is thinking about thinking. I always say there is that little word inside your brain that sometimes is explaining or you are using to follow a method or to think about what you're thinking or doing, okay? So students who actually strategically use their metacognition skills, they can learn more and with less effort. Isn't that what we all want, to actually learn more with less effort? And this is why it's so important, okay? Because they can detect and solve problems more easily and discover the best methods to reinforce what they have learned and transfer into other contexts. So this is the really important of metacognition, the importance, okay? So also, and then as a side effect on top of all this, it makes them more involved and motivated toward learning, in addition to presenting greater self-efficacy. So if you really think about this, metacognition is very, very important, and you will see now how can you can actually develop and start with this when they're tiny, okay? It's been actually studied. Of course, it's difficult to study, but you can see by their behavior and assume certain things. And we're going to talk about how you can actually assess metacognition skills in little ones. But it's been seen that children that are from 12 to 18 months, so that's 1.5 years, right? They already are able to reflect on the decisions, and you can see that they evaluate the accuracy of the decisions they've made, right? And these decisions affect the subsequent behavior. So if they do something right and they find a strategy, they will repeat that strategy that worked. And that really showed that they are assessing and evaluating what works. And in all the presentation that we're sharing with you, okay, you at the bottom, as you can see there, you will have more articles that you can read so that you don't have to believe me, but you can read how important metacognition is in these early years. So it can start at 1.5 years, and it goes through our lives, and it helps us become, obviously, better students. And this is why it's so important. Hattie, who I really admire for the work he did a huge meta-analysis, right, in which he was actually trying to basically see the effect, okay, of everything that can influence achievement in a classroom, yeah? So he tested 20,000 things and also used all other analyses from other people, other researchers, right? And he used all those analyses plus the one he had done to see what is actually the most important thing that can affect achievement in a classroom. Now, my question for you guys, what do you think is the relationship between feedback and metacognition? The connection here, right, is that the more feedback I give my students, right, the more my students can incorporate that feedback into the process, the learning process, and understand what is gone right and what is gone wrong, And so even when the little ones, right, we just said they're going to start repeating or trying harder with the things that do work, okay, and they will know which ones to change. So metacognitive strategies empower students to think about their own thinking. And this awareness of the learning process enhances the control over their own learning. It also enhances personal capacity for self-regulation and managing one's own motivation for learning. If I understand my own process of learning, how I learn best, okay, I am going to be much more willing to actually approach new learning instances because I'm going to be less scared of what I don't know. I'm going to basically create a solid process of approaching things that I don't know. And it's a problem-solving process, right? And this is why it's so important, and this is why it's so related to independence, yeah? But the most important thing I would stress again is the thing is that they start getting more motivated in their own learning. When they know that they can actually, and this is a word that is being used a lot, that when they have agency also, when they got power over their own learning process. So metacognitive activities can include planning how to approach learning tasks. It can include identifying appropriate strategies to complete a task. It can include also evaluating progress or monitoring comprehension. And we are going to go now into more specific things that we can do in the classroom so that we sort of understand. So the strategies to integrate metacognitive strategies into everyday teaching can be questioning and explicit vocabulary, modeling of thinking, explicit teaching, supporting students to plan, monitor, and evaluate their own learning or work, developing rubrics, and wherever possibly, co-designing them with students. Co-designing rubrics is really important in a metacognitive process. And of course, the reflection on your own practice, okay? We as teachers, students as students, everybody, you know, as you said it in the chat, is very important to reflect. So I just wanted to share with you also the assessing metacognitive skills, because as I said at the beginning, it's very difficult. But guess what? Children games are the best way to assess.
5 minutes left.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Perfect, thank you. I'm doing really well on time, so congratulate me, Joaquin. So children games have an essential role in the evaluation of children. You know that play is what they do naturally, how they approach life, how they explore new things, how they learn, right? And it's universal to them. They use it all the time, okay? So it's not like they are serious or they're playing. No, they're playing all the time. Everything is a game for them, right? So because it's a natural way of expression, it can provide opportunities for the development of learning, right? So we actually, you know, especially the ones that are expert in pre-básica, pre-primary, right? We know that children should be playing constantly. And it's not, of course, whatever they want to play at, right? It's very specific and prepared and with a purpose play. So this is why also games are an essential and a tool for actually for the learning, but also for as an assessment part of the learning. When they're playing is the best time when we can actually assess, and not just metacognition, right? So if they have a corner about a hairdresser, right? And they go to the hairdresser, I can actually include my objective of maths in there by, if it's just one digit that they need to add, it could be bills, and you know, drying is 2 pesos, combing 1 pesos, cutting 1 pesos, and then you know you say, well, I blow dried and cut, so it's 1 + 2, and maybe they can have something there to work it with. So you can have maths there, you can have language there, you can hear them speaking, right? And they're going to try and express themselves the most they can because they're playing, they want to. And the same with metacognition skills. So you're going to see when let alone social skills, how you can assess all the social skills that you need to be checking on. But metacognitive skills are there too. So you're going to say, why did this happen? What went wrong? What went right? What could you have done better? okay? And all those little questions will also help you understand how much they are understanding of the real process that they're going through. So game can be considered as a window through which we can systematically observe the affective, social, and cognitive functioning of children, and allowing systematic observation of the metacognitive skills. This is exactly what we need to be aiming for. So use play to develop all the learnings that you can, and use play to assess all the learning that you can, including metacognition. So thank you, everybody.
Hi, this is Professor Joaquín Triandafilide from Comunidad Neuroeducas. If you found this video appealing in any way, remember we're soon starting with our diploma in teaching English to young learners. When is this starting? April the 20th, 2022. So you can contact us for more information. Send us an email to info@neuroeduca.cl or check the comments below the publication of this video, and you'll find the link to the file with more information or how to enroll. See you then.